WRTV 6 News at 11.
Good evening. Greg has the night off. Saddam Hussein tonight continues to play chicken with the new Clinton White House. The latest incident, Iraqis fired on 3 U.S. Navy warplanes today. They were in the southern no-fly zone of Iraq. The planes were flying nighttime patrol when the shooting started. One of the fighters dropped a laser-guided bomb on the Iraqi anti-aircraft position. All 3 American jets returned safely to the USS Kitty Hawk tonight. President Clinton is poring over reports of the incident and has no immediate comment. A New Jersey chapter of an Indianapolis headquartered fraternity is in trouble tonight. Members are accused of organizing a racist hazing incident on campus. And as Channel 6's Jim Parsons reports, that story has brought back some unpleasant memories for an IU undergrad.
Phi Kappa Psi at Rider College may be closed following a January 4th hazing incident. Students said it was labeled Dress Like a Nigger Night and that pledges were ordered to behave in ways that were demeaning to blacks. Phi Kappa Psi, which is nationally headquartered in Indianapolis, has apologized for the incident, but students are demanding that the fraternity be shut down.
Everyone who was involved should have to be accountable for their actions.
It's hard to change how we look and everything, and one bad incident like that just continues to set us back farther.
Indiana University undergraduate Craig Hazeman knows something about racism. He was stabbed in the abdomen last year in an altercation with a member of a rival fraternity across the street. What sparked the violence were unmistakable words of bigotry aimed at one of Craig's fraternity brothers, a black man.
He yelled out "nigger lovers," and everyone was like, oh, you know, just saying that and everything. So about 3 minutes later, same guy yells out, well, at least we don't let niggers in our house.
Craig's run-in with racism was a spontaneous event and just an individual, while the incident at the New Jersey fraternity was coordinated and involved dozens of people. Still, Craig says he was repulsed by his experience.
I've never seen anyone hurt by racism before.
Members of Delta Chi and the rival fraternity across the street have had regular meetings since that stabbing attack to try and improve relations between the two frats. Members say those meetings have worked. By the way, that member who yelled a racial slur, he's been kicked out of his fraternity. In Bloomington, Jim Parsons, 6 News.
Rider College officials are considering disciplinary measures that range from individual suspensions to the closing of the Phi Kappa Psi chapter. Channel 6 News wasn't able to reach any officials of Phi Kappa Psi's national headquarters right here in Indianapolis. A cross-burning at an Indianapolis homeless shelter is sending 3 men to jail. Kenneth Fallon, Robert Montgomery, and Torrance Ingram were sentenced for the 1991 cross-burning at McCormick Place on the city's west side. The 3 could spend up to 5 years in prison for the incident. Now to Mike Tyson. Desiree Washington's alleged attempts to sell her story will be the focus of the ex-champ's appeal for a retrial. Tyson was convicted last year for raping Washington while she was in Indianapolis for the Miss Black America pageant. He's serving 6 years for the crime. An appeals petition will be heard next month. Defense attorney Alan Dershowitz claims Washington had plans to sell her story long before the rape trial ever began, and that the information did not come out in court. Dershowitz claims it would have changed the outcome. A fire at the athletic club during last year's Tyson trial threatened a mistrial. That is where Tyson jurors were sequestered. State Representative Larry Lutz of Evansville was also staying at the athletic club. He was rescued from the fire, but now he says he's suing the club. Lutz says the facility was negligent in paying for medical expenses, the loss of personal property, and for alternative lodging expenses. Athletic club officials declined comment until they read the lawsuit. Thousands of people for and against abortion are staging protests across the nation to mark the 20th anniversary of Roe versus Wade and President Clinton's decision to lift restrictions on abortion.
Abortion stops a beating heart.
In downtown Indianapolis, about 600 pro-life demonstrators rallied and prepared for battle. Organizers say they're energized and ready to fight President Clinton, who has lifted several government restrictions on abortion. They talked of some signs of their success. Pro-lifers claim they prevented more than 100 abortions in Indianapolis last year because of women who turned away from doctors' offices. Police arrested hundreds of anti-abortion protesters at demonstrations in several other cities today. At one protest in Washington, D.C., demonstrators glued shut the doors of an abortion clinic, chained themselves to a homemade metal blockade, and used cars and a human wall to block entrances at others. Police say they arrested nearly 300 protesters in the nation's capital. Near Miami, abortion foes shouted past police. The target was this abortion clinic. About 250 protesters tried to block the entrance. Police cleared a path for incoming clients. And in Atlanta, thousands of pro-life protesters took to the streets, formed human chains, chanted and waved signs protesting the Roe versus Wade anniversary. President Clinton has stirred up another hot political debate over gays in the military. Indiana Republican Dan Coates says he's organizing a group of senators who are opposed to the president's plan to lift a 50-year ban on homosexuals in the military. Coates says the controversy is distracting attention from defense issues. Indiana Democratic Congressman Frank McCloskey disagrees. He says Clinton is handling the issue responsibly. And women's groups are pressuring President Bill Clinton to select a female attorney general after Zoe Baird withdrew her nomination. Baird would have been the nation's first female attorney general, but a political firestorm erupted after she admitted to hiring illegal aliens to work in her home. President Clinton says he's got several people in mind, but he will not say if they are women.
I did some work on it yesterday afternoon and had several extended conversations with people about potential nominees and gave my staff some instructions to go do some work on 3 or 4 folks.
3 or 4 men?
3 or 4 people. I'm not going to say who they were.
FBI Director William Sessions isn't giving up his job despite criticism of ethical misconduct. Sessions today accused former Attorney General William Barr of, quote, personal animosity. Earlier this week, a Justice Department report accused Sessions of a number of ethical lapses, including allowing his wife to interfere with official FBI activities, among them her insistence on a privacy fence around their home. FBI experts had said the $10,000 fence would actually diminish the Sessions security. Today, Sessions bitterly attacked the department report as inaccurate, incomplete, and biased. Nonetheless, he says he will make restitution.